Welcome back. So, you've tried everything. You've gone through all the software settings, you've hopped channels, you've tweaked the power levels, but that nagging RF interference just refuses to leave. What's next when the digital fixes just aren't cutting it? Well, today we're going to roll up our sleeves and get physical, talking about how you can actually modify your environment to finally win the battle for a clean signal. This is part 8 of a 10-part tutorial, Radio Frequency Interference with Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and IoT devices that use 2.4 and 5.8 GHz frequency bands by RFI detectives, a part of the Virtualization Options LLC family. All right, here's the game plan for today. We'll kick things off with the physical fixes you can try when software fails. Then we'll dive into some smart device replacements. From there, we'll get into the heavy-duty stuff, shielding and filtering. After that, we'll talk about getting your antennas in just the right spot. And we'll wrap it all up by looking at why this is all going to matter even more in the future. So, let's set the scene. You've tweaked every setting you can find. You've analyzed the spectrum till you're blue in the face, but the interference is still there. This is that moment, that tipping point, where we have to stop clicking and start physically interacting with the world around our gear. And this quote right here from our source material really says it all. Physical modifications can solve interference problems impossible to address through conventional optimization. That's the core idea here. For those really, really stubborn RFI problems, getting hands-on isn't just a last resort. A lot of the time, it's the only thing that's going to work. And, you don't have to start by tearing down walls or anything. As you can see here, sometimes the easiest physical fix is actually the most powerful. Just moving your access point, getting it out from behind that big metal filing cabinet or away from the microwave can make a world of difference. Okay, so let's talk about our first major strategy, strategically replacing some of those older, problematic devices. This is all about playing detective, finding the noisy culprits in your space, and literally upgrading your way to a clearer signal. And the trick is to be smart about it. Look at this chart. That old 2.4 GHz cordless phone, if you swap it for a DECT 6.0 model, boom, it's now on a completely different frequency. Problem solved. Or how about that old laggy Bluetooth keyboard? Upgrading to Bluetooth 5 gives it modern features that help it play nice with your Wi-Fi. And those old IoT gadgets, switching to something like Zigbee 3.0 lets them find their own quiet channels to work on. All right, but what if you've replaced a few things and it's still not enough? For really severe, persistent interference, sometimes you got to bring out the big guns. And that's where we get into advanced shielding and filtering. First up, we've got the ultimate tool for isolation, Faraday caging. You can think of this as building a totally sealed electromagnetically proof room for your gear. It's used in two main ways, either to protect super sensitive equipment from all the noise outside, or to trap the noise from a really loud RFI source so it can't get out and mess everything else up. Now, if a Faraday cage is a fortress, then RF filtering is more like a surgical strike. These are actual physical filters you install on your antenna lines, and they're designed to block or pass only very specific frequencies. This lets you surgically remove the exact slice of the spectrum that's causing you headaches without touching any of the signals you want to keep. And check this out. This one is really clever. Remote antenna systems. What this does is let you separate your router from its antennas. By using a special low-loss cable, one that's designed to carry the signal without losing strength, you can put your antennas in the absolute perfect spot for coverage, even if the router itself has to be tucked away in a closet somewhere. So that leads to a pretty obvious question, right? If you're using a remote antenna system, where exactly do you put the antenna? Well, that's what we're talking about next, optimizing that placement to find the sweet spot. It's actually a pretty straightforward process. Step 1, you use your analysis tools to find the spot in the room or building that gives you the best possible signal. Step 2, you physically mount your remote antenna in that exact spot. And step 3, you just run that high-quality, low-loss cable back to your access point. That's it. 3 steps to a perfectly placed antenna. Okay, so let's zoom out for a minute and look at the bigger picture. Why is it so critical to understand all of these physical techniques? Well, it's because the problem they solve, spectrum congestion, is only going to get worse, a lot worse. The reality is, with this explosion of the Internet of Things and edge computing, we are packing more and more wireless devices into the same exact spaces. Every new smart bulb, every sensor, every speaker, they all add to this invisible chatter in the air, cranking up that local RF congestion and making a clean signal that much harder to find. And this list really drives home just how complex it's getting. See, it's not just more devices, it's a growing list of totally different protocols. You've got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Zigbee, Thread, LoRaWAN, and the list keeps growing, all trying to shout over each other in the same room. Managing that chaos is the real challenge moving forward. Which leaves us with one final big question to chew on. As our homes, our offices, our factories just fill up with all these wireless signals, is learning to manage the physical RF environment, not just with software, but with shielding, placement, and smart hardware choices, is that the next essential skill for any tech pro? Definitely something to think about.